Fix that. I fixed it.
There we go.
It is. Hey, Ripster, how you doing, man?
What's up?
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Just, I don't know, trying to get stuff done, work away, and DoorDash failed me today, but the stock market didn't fail me today. So stock market-wise, really good. Everything else is fucked up. And then I did a remote shoot just now at another location in our office, and I guess the audio is bad, and I didn't know that. And so I'm sad about that too. That's my problems.
Well, I'm not on phone this time.
There you go.
There you go. That's an improvement.
That's a win. And,
Yeah.
and we have the full view of those chairs. I think those are the best chairs of any guest that we've brought on.
Oh yeah, those are.
I love those.
Luke, I feel. Go ahead.
So I told my wife about the chairs, right? She was like, "See, I mean, it's all her, right? It's not me." So
Yes.
for the chairs, you're like, I told you. So
I would, Ripster, what I would say is, like, me and Luke want to come in there and like sit in those chairs like we're going to a therapist, and you can be our therapist. I'll breathe and I'll sit in those chairs. It feels like, like, and sit there. It looks comfortable. I can get out of this office and not have to deal with what I was dealing with. So yeah, there you go.
that's fine.
Yeah. What'd you say?
But you guys change your your streaming service. That's much better. That's why my webcam is able to work now.
Yeah, the producer Rohan, I fought him on it, and now we're to this thing, and so it's better. It's still not where we need it to be, but we're getting there. Like, I like the microphones. I got this camera that, like, it's a robotic stuff that I supposedly can control it, so I can move around the office and do stuff on the walls, but it's not there yet because I can't see what it's looking at. That's a problem. So we're getting there. We're getting there, Ripster. We're trying to build you basically like CNBC, for the 21st century.
Yeah, CNBC, but actually entertaining, not just talking heads, showing positions, that whole sort of thing.
Showing guys who know what they're doing, like you. All right, so speaking of guys knowing what they're doing, like you, Ripster, what have you been up to, my man?
It's been a good week. Earnings. It was all about earnings. We've been trading PayPal, APPS, pins. So it's been a good week. That's what we've been up to.
So what'd you do with pins? I'd love to hear that one.
Yeah, well, I have a pins in my IRA as well. But yesterday before earnings, I took an earning position at 677 and sold it at 87, and then I took another position this morning, which is kind of flat right now. But pins will be $100 stock soon. I know that.
Okay, so you're staying long now. Do you buy a lot of the?
I want to hear the thesis on pins really quick. Can you tell us about that one?
Well, the only reason I like pins is it's undervalued compared to Facebook and Snap. The way they are growing their EPS. This time EPS was not that impressive, but the last earning, the EPS grew like 1,000%. And that's what all I focus on, the growth of EPS and the sales and all. And Pinterest is growing. And if you see, other reason was if you see Facebook is just, social media is just blowing it out of the water, right? Facebook has great earnings. So I knew pins is going to beat again. And, so that's my thesis. The social media is the future. And anything that the sales and, the revenue, the monetization of social media is future. And pins was stuck in that limbo for a long time. But the moment it broke that 37 and then, out of its range, and last earnings is started showing that growth year over year, sales and EPS, and that's why we know, it's going to keep growing. The company that grows doesn't suddenly stop growing out. It doesn't just drop. Any growth stock you see that curve that once it starts to grow, it meets its expectations or beats it, it keeps going. The revenue, sales go, the market cap go, and the price go. So that's my thesis on all my growth stocks that I trade. So that's what I'm looking at pins.
So then you're kind of like, before you got on, I was talking about some of my positions like HubSpot and Twilio and Google. I bought in the IPO, never sold a share, but these other ones I sold some shares, and it would have made sense for me never to sell a share. And like your point is like these companies that are growing on a growth trajectory, ride the wave is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah, well, my style is different. I'm kind of investor and trader as well. I know when it's breaking out, and that's when I take a position on a growth company, right when it's breaking out, and then I ride the breakout, and I know where to take profits based upon my technical things. I have a trading portfolio and a long-term portfolio. But even with the trading portfolio, I sell it at a point and get back in when it's in consolidation, because I know it's going to go, it's a stair-step chart. I shared it on my Twitter the other day. Every growth stock has a stair-step chart. All you need to know is take the breakout, sell at a level, buy again in the consolidation dip, take the next stair-step up. So that's how I trade these, right? So
interesting.
So pins I sold yesterday, I have a good position, right? In IRA, I don't touch it. But then I again took another position today at 80 because it filled the gap, almost filled the gap. So I took a position there, and I'll hold it and see how it performs. So it's trading, investing. It's a mixture of that.
Can I ask you another? Oh, I'm going to ask you another 2 questions on pins. Real 2 questions. So do you look? I know you're trading, but do you look at your position size as a percentage of your portfolio? So the reason I'm asking is this: I know what like an average position size for me is, and I know what a large one is, but like the stocks that have really run up, like Tesla, becomes like a 40% of my position, and I don't really pay attention to percentage size. So today I enabled a new field in my E-Trade account that says percentage size, and I see like my average position size like 4%, and then Tesla's like 41%. So I like want to try and experiment with my next stock buy where I like don't look at what dollar amount, but I just look at percentage size. Do you look at percentage size of your portfolio when you make these trades, or is it more about the absolute dollar that you're spending?
No, it's for me. It's I'm not a very by the book trader. For me, it's if I like a position, I go in. I just I see a risk in a dollar value. Even though I teach it, you shouldn't do a risk on a dollar value. Your risk is technicals. First, you have to see what does technical tells you, like how much is the risk, right? How much you are able to lose. Then you size accordingly, right? That's the rule. So it's not like how much you are willing to lose, and then you go in not caring about the technicals. So for me, I know my risk. So I go in, I know this is how much I will lose, and accordingly I size, and that's how I do it. So I don't really care about this is my percentage of my portfolio or all that.
All right.
Yeah.
No, I got it. Looking at the technical levels. Okay. And then I know you messaged me about one of your stocks that, let me see. Let me pull it up.
Which one?
APPS.
Yes. He wrote me, Raz, I hope you, I don't know if you said Raz, but you can call me Raz. If we're not on that relationship yet, you can call me Raz. Because you're like family now with the great picks. So, yeah, okay, look at it again. So, Luke, when he was on the show, he doesn't come on enough, but I think he was on like January like 25th, maybe 22nd. I got to look at the chart. We should have stock charts on these pages, Luke, with the day the guest appeared on the show.
Yes.
That'd be sick. So Ripster, I think, gave us the stock at $57, I think it was. And today, Digital Turbine, $85.89, up 11.27%, up $8.70 to $85.89. That was a Ripster stock. So yeah. Ripster, what say you, my man?
It's gonna. This APPS is a growth. It was my growth stock of the year. I mean, it's one of the many, but this was my biggest position. My followers got it at 28, and that was last earning beat. And it's not about beat, right? People talk about beat. Nobody cares about beat. It's about how much it grew from the last quarter, last year, right? And and that's what you want to see. 100% EPS increase is amazing. Sales 50% is fine. So apps keeps doing it, man. It's that's what it's gonna keep doing and keep going. It's going to be 100 soon.
Yeah, right. and we got the date. We got the official date. It was January 12th. Stock was at $54, all the way up to 85 now. So you still like this name?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, it's a pretty chart. It's a pretty chart.
Here's the thing. Some of these names, like TTD. I called TTD back in the start of the year. Shop. You have to always like them, right? I know they say, oh, it's too high. Nothing is too high. If the company keeps growing, the revenue sales keeps growing, there's nothing is high. Market cap is going to keep growing. Of course, you don't chase it. You see like how high it is from EMAs. It has to pull back, consolidate, and ready to break out. You add again, So it's just a mindset. And I'm not best at holding positions. That's why I trade up and down, right? And I hold. If in IRA I don't see it, I hold it. But if you're really good at holdings, these I know one of my followers, he had apps. And he has FUTU, FUTU. And he texted me yesterday that it's life-changing for me because those stocks went 300%. Fudu went 200%. And he took my idea, he held. And then his account is over 300%. And he said it's life-changing for me. So if you are a trader like that, yeah, you need to stay with your stocks, growth stocks.
Yep. Okay. And I think that deserves an air horn.
All right. Luke, I got one for Rip. Can I ask about the stock? Wait, were you gonna ask about the stock, or I can go off, Luke? If you want to ask about your stock that you like?
No, go for it.
It's one you like, Luke.
My CLOV.
There you go. There you go.
Right, yeah, I was just about to say we've got to talk some SPACs a little bit.
SPACs has lost some love recently, so let's just waiting for love to come back.
So I mean, the news on this one yesterday was there was that short report. I think it was Hindenburg who put it out. The company did address it this morning. Stock is down after they addressed it. I was optimistic that after they came out, they defended the company. We would get a pop there. So I have a position in it now. But do you have any thoughts on this one? It sounds like you don't love the SPACs right now until some of the energy goes back into them.
See, I love stocks. Yeah. My point is I might have a position, but I don't go every day talk about it, or because here's the thing. There's always a potential. There is always, company can do something, right? But once the substantial information from management or, earnings or something comes up, that's when you build conviction, right? CLOVs, I know they have a lot of potential, right? Doesn't mean I go every day, tell them buy lots, buy CLOV, right? Yep. So I need to talk about it. When the company proves itself, when the earnings or any report like lots, they did something, they said, that their sales and revenues are growing pretty good. Then all these shorts are going to be blown out of water, right?
Yep.
They will prove themselves, right? So yeah, just stick with the situation, with your position, follow your technicals, right? A 10 is a big psych level on all these SPACs, lots, CLOV. If they break 10, it's not always good technically because it's a psych and a big psychological level, right? And it can go lower too, right? But if it stays over, it's good, right? So you minimize your position according to your risk, right? But both these companies have a lot of potential in future, right? But I won't go to speak about it day after day after day. But everybody has to manage their risk accordingly, But I will go big whenever I'm good. I will add more whenever there's a big, updates about the earnings, sales, everything comes out, So you need to keep building that conviction on your own.
Yep. So it's sort of like a wait and see. Let's get some news. Let's get some numbers, and we'll continue to evaluate from there. Yeah. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, it's all about short squeezes these days. No love on SPACs, love on short squeezes. So we are on short squeezes then.
Yeah, that has been a wild week. Well, yeah. I'm sure last week was crazy for you. For us, I mean, it was insane. It's like the stock market was the number one story in the world. It wasn't politics. It wasn't who's the president. It was the stock market, which is totally nuts. And also, I think totally cool. There's a lot of people. I mean, I got texts from people I haven't talked to in years asking me what's going on in the market. And so it's getting more energy, getting more buyers in there. So I like the whole situation.
Yeah. We are, I'm in a bunch of stocks that I think they are going to short squeeze, it's speculation positions. I'm in this one. It's a biotech because I think they are going to target biotechs next.
Okay.
So this morning I took a position in stock CYCC. It's 30% short, right? It's highly shorted stock, and it's a good legit biotech.
Wait, can you give me the ticker one more time?
CYCC.
CYCC. Okay. All right. CYCC. Psych the Cell Pharma. All right, I have the chart up.
I'm pulling it up.
So if you look at CYCC, it's short 30%, right?
I mean, it's up 25%, 31% today. Why? Because of you?
No, it's not me. It's everybody, right? So people identify what are good stocks which are intentionally shorted without any reason, or which had a bad story, but the story is changing, right? So those are the best ones to get on. So I respect a lot of bio traders in my circle. They had a good enough DD on this, and they thought it's a good squeeze candidate. So I took a position. It's a speculative position. Let's see what it does. But I'm on that one.
All right. I mean, that chart is whenever you give us names and we pull up the charts, it's like, yeah, it's a pretty damn good looking chart. Tough to fight against something that has that much momentum behind it.
Yeah. The breakout is over 10. So 10 holds, and and high, and that's it. The sky's the limit. Weekly chart, daily chart. That's I'm a breakout trader, so a lot of people are scared to buy high. I buy high, I sell higher. That's my motto.
I like that.
I love that. We need to get that in a t-shirt and sent to Ripster. I buy high, I sell higher. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's all I do. Buy high, sell higher.
Make that shirt, Luke. Make that shirt.
All right, we're getting it made.
All right,
it's going on the legal pad. Boom.
Hey, so Ripster, there is a question, and I think it must be something to do with preferreds. Super Spackman said, "What's the difference between CYCC and CYCCP? Is it maybe that's a preferred? That's a preferred. Yeah, it's a 6% dividend preferred. I don't know if you saw that one.
What's the question?
So he asked, Super Spackman said, "What's the difference between CYCC and CYCCP? And P, the letter P is in Peter, is there's a preferred, a 6% looks like dividend. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not aware of that one. Okay,
me neither. Okay, keep going, Luke. We're at buy high, sell higher. I like it.
Yep. So it's So what I was saying is it's a short squeeze mania. It's a weed mania. SPACs have lost love. So I focus. So we, and even in Atlas with all our other traders, we try to focus what is the market doing right now, right? So we trade large caps, and then we go to these mid caps, and then we trade these craze stocks. Where is the craze? Right now the craze is in short stocks, weed. So weed has been.
What's your favorite weed stock?
Right now, well, I alerted a stock yesterday. It's called AGFY. The stock is AGFY. So let's see where it is right now.
You know this one, Jason? You know all the weed stocks.
I know all of them. I don't know this one.
I don't know this one either.
No. So AGFY. So GRWG, right? HYFM.
Yeah.
Right. So GRWG, by the way, was my alert at $13, $22. I think today it's at $60. So all the weed names have ran, right? So this AGFY is a new IPO which is growing. It's, to summarize, it's way cheaper than all other weed stocks, and they also do what is called, how they do agriculture, indoor agriculture. They have a big warehouse, and then they grow the crops inside, the shelves, right? And they do this weed and big in weed too. So that's why I'm in AGFY. I can send you more details. Why the growth it is, and
send it to me.
Yeah, I missed the bus on HYFM, so I didn't want to miss the bus on this one. So I alerted it yesterday. I think 17 or 16. So it's doing pretty good.
Yeah, I mean that's already a great move.
Yeah.
So the one that I'm in, it's because I know the chairman and I know the CEO. Like I know them, and I bought it a long time ago, like at like $4. It's called Terracen, TRSSF, and they just put a $250 million vehicle. And the reason raised, and the reason I like it so much is because Bruce Linton, who used to be, you guys know Bruce Linton from Wiki sold us. Oh God, sorry, can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we hear you. You buzzed. You're still buzzing, but we hear you.
Okay, so he sold his company to Constellation Brand, whatever. So I like it because he thinks that chairman is very, very good, and so I like Terracen, TRSSF, as my weed play. But I also own a few others like Cureleaf. I'll buy this one right now. I'll buy that one, and then there's another cannabis play. And Ripster, I don't think you're gonna. I own some Sundial, SNDL, S as in Sam, N as in Nancy, D as in dog, L as in Lisa. Is this a trade or is this something else? What is this?
Well, SNDL is, I think, Zach, and it's Zach's play. So I don't have full information on an SNDL, but what I have heard so far, it's really cheap, and it's going to show growth. So, but I don't have the full information on that.
Okay, so it's not yours. Okay, so
All right, what about a Kern, Jason? That's my cannabis play. KERN. I like this one because it's a SaaS software business for cannabis. They basically make the operating system that the cannabis industry runs on, manages all the compliance and that sort of thing.
So I tell you my honest opinion about Kern, right?
All right.
So when
it's not going to be good.
No, it's you see, we have to lay the facts down, right? We are not here to just say show the one side of the picture, right? So Kern my alert was at 220 or something when these Democrats were coming in and Biden was coming in. It went to 5 and 6. So they make ERP software. So what is an ERP software? ERP is enterprise resource planning software for weed, right? So end to end, how the weed is produced to, how to it's sent it out, suppliers and all that. So there are other companies too which make this software, right? But this is the only public company, and a lot of other states other companies have license for other states. This company is trying to get the licensing. In the past, management did stand up to the expectations. They didn't do good. That's why the stock tanked, right? It tanked down. But if let's say country gets legalized, the weed everywhere, so there's more food for everyone. So all these ERP companies can eat. So Kern has more room to grow, right? It can get licenses for more states, get its things on track, and it's cheap, right? It's cheap until it shows that it's might be in limbo. So that's my thesis on Kern. So I still have position on Kern because I bought at 230, right? People ping me, "Oh, you're still here? You're still in?"
Well,
guys, it went to $7. Don't ask me if I'm in or I'm not, right? I sell, I buy, I sell, I buy. So,
Luke,
I love this one.
Luke, didn't we just have the CEO on? It was $4 or something.
We did, yeah. So Jessica was on, I don't know, a few days ago.
Jessica is the CEO. Jessica Billingsley.
Yeah, she's the CEO. She was on earlier this week. The stock was like high 5s, low 6s. Yeah, we're at 720 now. And again, I love this one as sort of a defensive cannabis play where you still have exposure to it. And they've got that awesome recurring revenue stream. They can get those SaaS multiples, that whole sort of thing.
Okay. All right. So now in the chat, I don't know if this is another stock that you talk about, why they keep asking so much, but let's just ask.
Which one?
UWMC, United Wholesale.
It's the GGIV. Okay. Yeah, it's the same thing, right? It's the same spec and the same thesis what we talked about earlier on lots and CLOV. Same thesis. Specs have lost the love, right?
Yep.
But the potential is there. They have the potential, right? You just have to be patient. I don't know why people keep asking again and again and again. Sell it. My one thing is, if you have to ask something about few times, sell it, move on, buy something else, go to weed, go to short squeeze, leave it alone. But don't keep asking about it again and again, right? So yeah it's same thing. If you see the charts, specs have same story, but they will bounce. There's a cycle. The cycle will come back to these specs or whatever, right? So you need to be patient. If you believe in the story, be patient. I believe in the story, doesn't matter. I'll speak, you are not going to put your whole savings in that stock. If I say, I believe in it, I can say I believe in it if it goes to 1, then what? So my answer to all those people keep asking about CLOV, lots, WMC is simple. Be patient, play your conviction. Don't play somebody else's conviction, play your conviction.
The only conviction you should follow from somebody else is Elon Musk on Dogecoin. No. I think is hilarious. Ripster, I want to ask you about one more. This is a name that I'm in right now, PYPL, PayPal. I've been a PayPal bull for about 2 months now. But basically, we saw all the energy going into crypto. We saw the crypto stocks just going nuts. PayPal wasn't moving, so I sort of liked it from that little bit of an arbitrage opportunity because they are definitely at least a little bit of a crypto play. You said you traded this one through earnings. Do you still like it? Did you get out of it?
Yeah, PayPal was moving. I don't agree that PayPal was not moving. When the Square and PayPal, they moved together. They moved together when this crypto hype was there, right? Even before PayPal's earning. And I think that's when I was alerting it at 200 breakout, both PayPal and Square. If you see the chart, if you see the weekly breakout, that 200 breakout was big, and PayPal has been moving since then, right? So if you talk about earnings, PayPal is growing. It's a growing company. It's not just a crypto company. It's exponential. So I traded yesterday. 275 is the level. It breaks 275, it goes to 300. As soon as it breaks 275, you buy 300 calls, monthly calls, and let it work, right? So that's how you trade. If earning is good, it's a breakaway gap, and it's holding the gap. It's flagging. There's a strength. You sell if you want to sell. You sell if it breaks the gap lows or mid gap, right? But you add if it goes over the highs of the earning day, right? So yeah, so that's my thesis. PayPal is going to 300, but it has to get over 275.
Okay. All right. I like it, but I've got to stop in this one right now at 261. So sort of the slowdown here, but I'd love to get that 275 and then 300. And guys, I have to hop off. Unfortunately, I've got to go back to working on the business a little bit, building on it. So I do have a call I got to go take. But I'm gonna leave you guys to it.
And wait, Ripster, before we go, Ripster.
I can talk. I have nowhere to go. I'm trading while I'm talking to you. So
yeah. So Ripster, I was just trading too. I'm buying a stock right now. I think I'm going to buy this stock. So have you been Tiger Brokerages? Tiger Brokerage.
TIGR.
Well, hold on. Let me just get this one. Let me get one order in, then I'll go back to it. Okay, hold on. What brokerage do you use? I should switch.
I'm on TradeZero. TradeZero has changed my trading.
Has what? What'd you say?
It has changed since I have been on TradeZero.
Yeah.
My account, it has grown exponentially. So TradeZero is the best.
What? Yeah. So why? I mean, I know the CEO. They're a customer. Actually, our news is on their site. I don't know if you see it, but our news is on there. Do you ever see our news on it?
I see their news. It's pretty fast, but I never knew it's Benzinga.
That's Benzinga. That is Benzinga. TradeZero has been a customer since his company was called something else first. Actually, it was called I can't think of it, but I could bring him on. If you ever want me to talk to him, I can bring the CEO on and you can ask questions.
But I talked to K Briggs.
No. The guy.
I think I'm with the international, right? So you talk to the US.
K Briggs is the international.
Yeah, he's the Bahamas office.
Okay, yeah, they have the Bahamas office and they have the US one.
He's the CEO there, so I talked to him.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways, the TradeZero reason it's good is the most important thing for me is the direct access. A lot of people don't understand. They go on TD Ameritrade or any other trader, right? So they are selling your orders and it routes in a certain way that you don't have a direct access. Direct access means you get best fills, and it's multi 1/10 of a second you get a fill and you get the best fills. So they really have a good direct access. And then
Well, the other thing I like about TradeZero, but I'm not doing it actively. I do. You said TradeZero. You said TradeZero, right, Ripster? Watch this. What do I got? Okay, so I have an account. I just wasn't I'm not actively using that one of the trades, and maybe I should. But the other thing I was gonna say at TradeZero, they let you trade at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I'm on West Coast, so
so that's 1 a.m. for you. So you should have stayed up really late. That should be your move.
Yeah, it's hard.
So I just bought Tiger. So TIGR, that one I bought on the show just now. Do you like Tiger?
Yeah, so Tiger, the EPS is growing 300%. Sales is growing 150%. So I missed it at 20. It was a perfect breakout. That was my kind of play, and now it's at 26. So I'm not in it, but I was trading. It's a Chinese stock, right?
Yes. So Tiger Brokerages, that's Chinese stock. Okay. So go ahead, keep going. No, keep going.
I was writing other Chinese stocks, so I got some, so that's fine.
Yeah. Well, no, because I was gonna go somewhere else with you on this Tiger Brokerage. So in the chat right now, there's a guy, and I don't know if he's pumping it or what, but his name is Doughboy that he's using, and he is saying JFU is a Tiger sympathy play. So JFU, J is in Jason, that's my name. F is in fuck it, and then U is in ugly. Okay, and so it's a Chinese financial investment services digital financial account platform, and 9F Group, which I'm going to look into because we can provide them data. So I'm buying these stocks partly because I want to keep track of them as potential clients for us. And a way for me not to forget is to put them that I own this stock. So I just bought these shares. It's not really moving. So I'm not like telling anyone to buy this stock, and I know nothing about it other than it's a Chinese investment firm, JFU, and the person in the chat, who I assume Ripster is a fan of you because I don't recognize his name, is saying that JFU is a Tiger sympathy play. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, yes. The sympathies are usually penny stocks. So I'm not a sympathy expert. I know a lot of my friends are sympathy experts. I haven't ever heard about it, but I see it's 200% volume today. So maybe something is going on. Who knows?
It did drop though. It did drop from $10. So I don't know. There's something. Maybe there's a lot of lawsuits. So maybe this is not something to play around with.
See, even when I go into penny stocks, my style is I want to see strength. If a chart is breaking out on weekly, it's consolidating. It might have been $20 5 years ago, that's fine. But I want to see what it has done in last 1 year, right? If it is changing the trend and making highs, that's when I get in.
Got it. So yeah, so this one you're not playing. And then, I mean, they're giving me other sympathies. JRJC. That one I think I know. JRJC is. Oh, that's China Finance Online. So, all right. So that's it. Now, how many trades are you making a day? That's down 10% today. I'm not going China Finance Online.
Sorry?
How many trades do you make a day about right now?
Well, I recap most of my trades on Twitter. So maybe I'm in 7-8 trades. Yesterday was apps, PayPal, bunch of other, I think, couple of penny stocks. So yeah, 8 to 10 average.
And then how do you know when I know you say look at technicals, but like let's just go for example on a penny stock and it starts rising. Like how do you know, or when do you decide? Is it just based on technicals, or is it based on something else where you're like, all right, I'm ready to trim this thing?
Yeah. So the biggest thing is, like I always say, the two things: average to true range of a stock. I mean, for penny stocks, it's okay. Let's talk about EMAs first. Any stock which is extended from EMAs, I look at 5 EMA, I look at a 10-minute 5 EMA or 1 hour 5 EMA. As further it extends from those EMAs, means it's going to pull back.
Okay.
Right? So it will pull back. If you see your chart, make a chart on 10 minutes, draw a 5 EMA there, you will see it tries to, it works as a magnet. So a lot of people, even when I like put some alerts on Twitter, let's say a low float or something, people buy, they slap it, and it goes to it's already like extended from 5 EMA, and and it pulls back. So I watch that. I watch how much is extended on an hourly, daily from the 5 EMA. Then I watch average true range. The true range is average range of the stock in last 10 days, 1 month, whatever. So you can't just slap a stock. Oh, Ripster says, or somebody says this stock is good, buy it. Dude, its average range is 2 and it's already up 4. It's highly unlikely it goes more, right? So if a stock has a good volume, good relative volume, and it's at, let's say, half of its average true range, or it's at its average true range, then it can go twice the range, 3 times the range. So you have to look at this average true range extension from EMAs.
Okay. So that's how you put science to this a little bit. You're not just doing just feel. You're putting science and touch, not just touch, but you're putting some mathematical things to it. And so
I have an EMA cloud system that I devised that system, and thousands of traders are using it successfully. They have become sustainable traders on their own. I don't sell it. I just show it live. I show with my charts. And I tell them how to use it. I give documentation. So that's the system I use: intraday, swings, everything. So
are you a programmer too?
No, I mean, my job, full-time job, was with data. So I'm not a programmer. Nah.
Okay.
I'm a data guy though. I like to, dig into data manipulation and all that.
Okay, that's knowing data is key for a lot of this stuff, and that's why I stayed with Tesla. I looked at the when you the VINs when you register a car in a state, and like 5-6 years ago, no one was talking about Tesla in the way they do now. And you looked at the number of VINs they were registering in California, it was unbelievable. So that's the sense. Okay, we'll do one more question with him. Do you know the stock HOFV, Hall of Fame Resort? Probably not. HOFV?
No, I think it was my swing alert.
Okay. So you know, okay.
Yeah, I think I alerted it at 2. Where is it at 3? Yep. So this so they have this what do they call it? Resort, right, in the city where they do the Hall of Fame awards. So it was a speculation position for me. I alerted at 2. I'm still holding it. It's at 3. Not a big position, but they need to show revenue, sales. If they keep showing that Corona goes, maybe it'll do good.
Yep. Now, Ripster, a stock that I talked about before you were on is there's this thing called Clubhouse, and I'm a big user of it. I literally, the timing I had, obviously I wish I would have bought calls on it. I did buy a couple, but I bought the stock. I did buy calls, but not enough. But the stock that I bought, API Agora, I gave it at $57, and I bought I bought a medium-sized position.
Oh, man, don't tell me about API, man.
You know it because.
Yeah. I love that stock, but I missed the run.
Oh my God! So Elon Musk was going on Clubhouse, and Clubhouse is like a vendor to API is a vendor to Clubhouse. That's not really like the hugest deal in the world, to be honest. And so I wanted to play Clubhouse because no one really knew Clubhouse, and I was like an early user. So I bought it at $57, literally at 10 days ago, and it's at $97 10 days ago. And I have the tweet right here. And then I bought only one call option for $16.20. I bought a September call that's $60 strike. I bought one. I don't know what I was doing, and I should have bought obviously more because that call is up 200% now. And I don't want to sell that call because even though it's 200%, which is a nice quick gain in a week, but I don't, it's September, so I feel like I should just hang on to it, right?
You have only one call?
Yeah, only one. The only one got executed.
I was going to say scale out. I don't know what.
Well, Ripster, I had this situation. I'll never do this again. Maybe you can give me advice because this is what I did.
I'll give you an advice.
Well, on this, I'm gonna tell you something I do wrong, and it pisses me off. And it's the reason I only have one call. I'll tell you why, and you'll understand why when I tell you the story. Real quick, I bought a company. The symbol is IMMR. I know I should put up a chart, but immersion, it does like the haptic remote control. So IMMR, M as in Mary, M as in Mary, M as in Mary, R. All right. I bought the stock and I bought calls. At least I thought I did. I tried to buy 40 calls of IMMR at the May 21st $10 strike. All right. So what happens is that it was at 80 cents. I put a limited order into 80 cents and the ask was 85. Well, I look back at my account. I only have one call because only one call got executed and the other 39 they moved up a little bit and so they never got executed. So I never got the other 39 calls. My position is up 533%, but I only have $80 on it. And so I'm up 533% because I only got one call. So when I buy calls, I usually put the orders in as limits and I put it good to cancel for 60 days. And what I'm noticing with my IMMR and then this other API, I was actually buying 10 calls and I only have one. And so I was buying the September 10 calls for 16,000 and I got, so both of those, I put the limit order in and then it moved up and I never got it. How do you recommend I buy calls that this doesn't happen to me? I mean, maybe sometimes it works out, but am I just being too cheap with my price limit, or what would you suggest?
So do you buy your calls on breakout or you buy your calls on just consolidation?
Okay, good question. I'm going to say on breakout, but it's not fair for me to say that because on API, it wasn't breaking out when I bought it. When I found out about it, I just got lucky on my timing. I bought it because I thought the story of Clubhouse would get out there. So I was buying it on speculation that people don't know API yet. That was what I was buying it on.
I was trading API at 37, got out at 48, and
oh really?
Forget to look at it. Yeah, API was one of my focus list. It's gone now, but anyways, so when you're buying options, right? If you are trading a breakout, so first rule of trading an option on breakout is you add small, right? If you want to buy 10 contracts, buy 3 contracts, buy or 4 maybe.
Okay.
As soon as the breakout confirms, add. Don't worry about the limit order. I mean, it should be liquid. It shouldn't be spready. Add on the breakout. Now you have 3 and you add 6, 7 more. You have 10 because the breakout confirms, and then you let it ride. It goes a certain position, 50%, scale out some. Never let the position turn red. Goes to 80%. I have full set of rules on Twitter, and scale more. So what it does, let's say the stock doesn't break out. You have those 3 contracts. It falls down, you can take a small loss, right? But when you add on breakout, you add more contracts, you are looking for substantial reward, right? So otherwise, you add small. So that's always the way to do it. Keep losers small, add small first, let it confirm, add more. Because if it's a good breakout, you are going to have a good trend and you are going to have a win. Right.
Got it. Got it.
You are not scalping it. So it doesn't make sense. So it doesn't make sense to go all in 10. Oh, it's breaking out, 10 contracts, market order. No. So that's how you do it.
So
that's one thing. Yeah,
two quick questions on that. How do you determine what month you're going to buy? Like how far out? And then the other question is how that Hamad Abro asked. How do you determine what the breakout is?
Well, breakout. I don't know. I'm a breakout trader, and I think I'm one of the best out there. But yep. I just know. I just draw the chart. I mean, it's clear. People complicate things. People want indicators. People want RSIs, magic rule. No, it's right in there. Clean your charts. Look at a bigger viewpoint. Look at 1 year. Look at monthly, weekly. You will know how many times the price has failed from that point, and you will know. And then you look at intraday. You can look at 10 minutes, 1 hour to confirm your breakout. So that's how you do it from the breakout levels. You can also use Fibonacci levels. If a Fibonacci on IPOs, if a Fibonacci and the resistance is the same point, that's always a good breakout. If a 50% retracement of an IPO is trying to break and there's a resistance there, it's a good breakout. So that's how I identify breakouts.
Got it. Okay, that's a good thing to know. That's a good thing to figure out how you do that. And I like the way you're saying options. I think I just have to monitor it and then buy more and go from there. I think that's.
So let me answer one more question you asked about.
Okay.
The options, how far. If you are buying an option in consolidation, right, then you are already ready for any theta decay, because you don't know when it will get out of consolidation. You don't know that, right? You can assume, oh, some news is coming out, but if you're buying in a consolidation, give it a 1 month at least. Give it time. If your account permits, give it that time, right? But if you're buying a breakout, then you can buy weekly if you are a knowledgeable trader, or 2 weeks, because then the move is going to come. Theta doesn't matter. You can take the profits. But if you buy in consolidation, you have to make sure you give time. So that's the difference.
Okay, no, that's good advice. You've been great. And one of the craziest stocks is Voyager Digital. I mean, are you playing any crypto plays right now?
No, I'm not in crypto.
Oh my God, this Voyager Digital. We had the CEO on at 60 cents. We own it, and the stock's at 13. And I definitely have trimmed some of it, but he was on at 60 cents like 3 months ago, 6 months ago. It's at 12.89. So I don't know. I mean, the market is the market, and it sounds like you're just good. You're good at playing the market, what the market gives you, and you watch these things, you watch these trends and these lines. I think we need to make a page on benzinga.com with Ripster's rules. The page will be benzinga.com/Ripster's rules, and it has your rules. And then when you update your rules or your rules of the game, we keep adding to it. I know you have it on your Twitter, but just another place to have it, because I think they're really sound, and you've been successful at it, right?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Luke to make that happen, because Ripster's rules. I mean, that's the thing. You go on CNBC, and you don't get this kind of real life trader going at it. I mean, if you're not profitable trading, you're not making money. Those guys, it's different. So I don't know. I thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for being you.
Before you go, let me give you one more pick.
Oh, wait, hold on. One more pick for Ripster. Can we get like a tweet out to Ripster? Follow Ripster on Twitter. You guys know his Twitter. Paste it in the chat. Like, subscribe, whatever. Ripster 47. Okay, go ahead, Ripster.
Yeah. So I've been looking at this stock for some time, and today it broke out. I missed the initial breakout, but then I added on a dip. It's called FLNT, right? So it's a digital marketing company. Right? It's like apps, like the companies, right? So it's a small company, right? But the revenues are growing. EPS grew 900% year over year. The sales grew 21%. And if you look at other marketing companies, how they are doing, or the digital companies like apps, so you have to see the sector, how the sector is growing. So I believe, and the chart is breaking out. I think I mentioned my rule. I want to see a breakout, and then I look at the fundamentals. So the chart is breakout. It's going to 10, and then the fundamentals EPS is growing. So I added this position this morning. So let's see where it is when we meet next time. But it's yeah. So it's good. So what they do is they work on the lifestyles and purchasing histories of a lot of these people, and that's how they market it. So it's a good one. So just wanted to let you.
All right. So I see a little bit of insider buying, so I like that. I've heard of the company. Let me look at them. I'm going to pull this up here. I know the Fluence. We're a digital media, so we get like these things, but this one looks interesting to me. So, and the market.
What happens with these? So these are micro caps, right? These are analysts are not there yet. Analysts are not there yet. The funds are not there yet because they are under the cap. But by the time the funds and analysts catch them, these are already 200, 300%, like GRWG and APPS. Nobody even knew about it. So I try to find these before the analysts or funds find it. And I have been successful doing it, because when the funds find it, then you are already in a position of good leverage. So you need to find the risk is there. So risk is there. There are smaller companies growing. They might do some dilution. That's fine as long as they're growing good. So, so yeah, so that's one.
Okay.
And, do you want one more?
I don't think they want another one. I think they're tired. Are you guys tired? If you want another one, press 1. If you want one more, press 1. I see that there's like 2,000, 3,000 people here, but only wait, let me do the refresh.
That's fine.
No, Ripster, let me just check. I don't want you to go yet. You guys, come on, give us 200 likes. All right. So 200, they pressed 1. So now give some likes. Ripster will give one more, Ripster 47, and we're gonna get the rules of the game on the web. Let's do that. And Ripster, ready for one more pick, but you guys should really get 200 more likes, so that would be important. Go ahead, Ripster.
So this pick, it's this pick I gave it a few days ago. I think I gave it on a weekend, and it already ran 7-8 points, but now it's dipping back to support. But I'm holding a big position on it because it's a revolutionary tech. Revolutionary tech. They are bi-directional switches. How the switches are used in circuits. So they are used in EV, electric vehicles, solar, and military, and everywhere. It's called IPWR.
IPWR. Don't tell the story yet, Ripster. Don't tell the story yet, Ripster 47. Give me a second. I gotta get on my screens. All right. So IPWR. All right. I see some purchases in April. Okay, that's good. And they do switches. Let's mean market cap. Okay, market cap. All right. So
market cap is nothing. It's nothing.
So how do you find a stock like this then?
Well, this one came from a follower. So there are so many smart people out there, and it's not about like this person has 1,000 followers or 10,000. He's good. No, there's so many smart people out there. So this guy, he sent me the complete information. Then I reviewed it. I also talked to, the few hedge funds who own it. I did my research, and that's how I figured out that this has a lot of potential, right? Okay. So yeah, that's how I found it. And again, they released a white paper on January 11. That's when the big spike happened. So now they have to keep up. I believe there will be some updates coming soon, which they will say, well, how are they progressing on their contracts? What is the future of the growth? That will be a big pivot there. So we'll see. They still have to prove themselves, but the potential is multi-bagger if they execute.
Got it. So is this one that you'll hang on to for a while to see like how it's moving or what it's doing, that kind of thing? Like how will you do this?
I will. So the other day when I alerted it, it was 18, 19, went to 25. People took profits. You scale out. You scale. You can't just hold a position if it goes 50, 60%. Even if you are long-term investor, you have to scale out, scale in, scale out, scale in. Sell at a certain point. You are already made some profit on that position, add it. So that's how I do it. I scaled out a little bit earlier, but I added a big position at 20. So now my target is 30. But again, I'm waiting on management updates, what we get there.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to take your advice now on my call option thing. It's so frustrating because like that IMMR, the guy who gave it to me, Chris Kaji at Benzinga, he gave it to me. He does a lot of those kind of investments. He's a game player and all that. So I bought 40 calls, I thought, and I didn't I know it didn't execute, and it was one call was left, and then I look and it's up 533%. I'm like, oh my God, I must be up a lot of money. I have one call because I never scaled up the limit price, like you said. I never increased it. I mean, it was like, it's frustrating. I should have had a lot more, up 530%. $80 is what I purchased the call for. Ridiculous, but that's the story. That's my story. So good advice. I appreciate you coming on the show. Come on more often, and then we're gonna make a Ripster's rules page because you got good rules, man. I'm gonna have them make the video clip of the about the EMA, the thing you were talking about, like how you look at the technical levels. That was that was awesome. So
I might be doing a webinar on that. We'll see. But yeah, thanks, man, Jason. I appreciate it. Very kind of you always
too.
Inviting me.
And please tell your beautiful wife that the chairs are awesome. We love them. Please tell her. Okay, we're gonna order. We're gonna want to know where she got them, and we want to get them for our office. Okay.
I think it's from Texas, from Dallas.
All right. Well, we'll have to ship them. All right. So Ripster, you rule. Your rule still that they're calling you the GOAT in the room. He's the GOAT. We love Ripster, the GOAT. There you go. All right, guys. Thanks, Ripster.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Talk to you later. Thanks, Ripster. All right. So now that was Ripster.